screen recording about Milestone M1 of the Solid Data Modules project. And in this milestone was mostly Reza Soltani who built the Bookmarks module, which is a snippet that allows solid apps to be compatible with each other on the topic of bookmarks. Now, if you go down in history to the first bookmark app that was built within the Solid project, it was Melvin Carvalho who built Markbook. And it's no longer supported. You see a broken image here as well, but it's easy to fix those links. And I did that on my fork. So you see here that this is me logged into Markbook on my own GitHub Pages branch. And you can add a bookmark like this. Say we bookmark the milestone. You put in the URI here, and then it will add it to your bookmarks. So this one was just added, and you see it has that URL. Now, of course, this Solid app stores data on your Solid pod, as we can see. Now, this is my pod, and in my profile, if I look into the turtle, I will see that a lot of trusted apps, and then I see that there's a private type index and a public type index. And those point to where different types of data are stored on my pod. So if you go to the, for instance, the public, I think this is the public type index. Yeah, here you see where public lists of different types of objects are stored. And if you look at, for instance, there's a container called /public/bookmarks, and it contains bookmarks. And then there's so that's instance container. And with just instance, you can have one single document like /profile/bookmarks.ttl registered for a given class. There's also a private type index, which is private, and it stores data in like the /bookmarks folder. And that's how apps can discover where bookmarks are. Now there we, or Reza mainly published a library for dealing with type indexes called Solid's Type Index Support. And it's pretty simple. You can get from a type index for a given RDF class, and then you can also register something in the type index. So this module is on NPM, and it's used in the bookmarks data module. Now, when you go into, for instance, this bookmarks.ttl file, you can see here some data stored in there. And I think this is also where Markbook stores it. Yeah, you see here there's a new one, hello, and here. And you can see that this is the one I just added. You can also see the created date here. So this uses a given format with type oh, sorry, that's just the RDF type. With recalls from the bookmarks vocabulary, it uses maker to say who created this. And then it uses Dublin Core to say when it was created. And if you look at another bookmarks app by Vincent Tunru called Podit, you can see that it actually has these same bookmarks in it, which is super cool because that means that you can edit your bookmarks with Markbook, and then when you're done getting bored of it, or you don't like the color, or it's not there's a bug that's not being fixed, then you can move to another app and you can have your data there. So if I refresh this, I should see the one that I just added. You see here, hello, just showed up in Podit as well. Then there's another app by Jeff Zucker, which doesn't store bookmarks on your pod, but it does store bookmarks as RDF, and it has some different types of bookmarks in the Open Culture browser. So here and it allows you to open these searches on the Internet Archive. And I copied the RDF from there onto my pod. And one thing you see is that it has a topic, and bookmarks refer to a topic. And I edited those first three because the library I used can't deal with these. I'm not even sure if those are nested graphs or blank nodes. I guess they're nested graphs. I don't know, or maybe blank nodes. One of the two, probably. But my RDF client couldn't read those. So I just removed them and labeled these groups of triples. And that allows the client to read them. And here you see, for instance, that there's a has topic, which the other apps didn't use. The bookmark IDF type is actually spelled differently with a capital M. Um, and instead of title, there's IDF as label, for instance. There's another app called Booklice, which stores data as activity streams. Now, all of that is documented in PDS interop. Uh, uh, we and this is also Rosanna's work, mostly the new additions to this. We went and just tried those out. For instance, Booklight stores it like this, so with different activity streams. Um, and what the solid data module does is just be able to read all those formats, including the typos, including if like if recalls is supposed to take a link, a named node, or is that a node you point to with a URL? But sometimes somebody puts a string in there, and then you should still be able to parse that. And topics can be written down in different ways. Sukai has a different way to store the created date. So we're also in a separate metadata object. Our data module is also able to parse that. And yeah, if you look at the code here, for instance, you can see if this is in the data modules bookmarks vanilla, which means it's the version that you can use without Sukai or LDO or any framework like that. And then it's the bookmarks module. And for instance, this function maps the creator from 3 different predicates. And that's how it abstracts from all these differences. And at the same time, just reads the type index. So here you see a demo app that has some bookmarks coming from Poddit and Markbook. Some different ones coming, like these 3 at the bottom, are coming from the society.ttl, from linked bookmarks, from Jeff Zucker, and this one another, and one of the other one, ASDF, I think, came from Booklice. You see this. Let me see. I need to log in here to show that. So in this app, it tells me that, yeah, I just have 2 bookmarks. But this demo app shows them all. So that's pretty cool. And you can see also in the console, we made the bookmark module a global in this demo code. I'm just running it. If you follow the instructions, you can run this demo on localhost like I'm doing here. And then in here, you could execute that from the console, and that should just go fetch a lot of bookmarks and display them here when it has them. Yeah, so that is the bookmarks vanilla data module. So the next step is that now that this is usable, all other apps should start using it, and then each app becomes compatible with each other app. And that's, of course, what we want to complete the vision of Solid. So, yeah, thanks for listening, and stay tuned for our next milestone. Thanks.